everybody, welcome back to my channel. I haven't done a watercolor tutorial yet. I thought I would do some, or one actually. This is my sketchbook that I use on a regular basis just to sketch out watercolors or acrylics. So I thought I would take you through the book and show you some of my watercolors. I never had proper watercolor training, so I taught myself, and I like them. It's just a bit of fun, really. And oh, this one was on canvas. I was doing a photo transfer of Mona Lisa in New York. What I'm actually doing, my sister-in-law Sue is going to publish a book of poetry, and she's asked me to do some illustrations for some of the poems in her book. So I love a challenge. Now, in my sketchbook, I'm a very eclectic artist. I do so many different styles, and I was just kind of playing around to see what kind of style that I wanted to do. And I finally decided on doing caricatures of emotions. So the watercolor you're going to see today is not realist at all. It's very abstract, nothing like this. Oh, that's my friend Karen's boat. And a lot of the poems, or the illustrations rather, don't really make sense until you read the poem that it's going to be next to. And actually, Sue had said to me, it's your interpretation. I'm not going to tell you what I want. And this is the one that kind of gave me the inspiration. I want to incorporate wire and some kind of, you know, those ransom notes that you get cut out of letters. So I'm going to use that. And also this Picasso style I liked because I kind of like the grotesqueness. Here is my watercolor pad. It is a Strathmore, very heavy paper. And as I'm in Turks and Caicos right now, taking watercolor is very portable. So that's why I decided to paint some watercolors rather than acrylics. And this pad is 11 by 15 inches. Yes, 11 by 15 inches. So without further ado, let me just show you a couple of the other caricatures I've already finished. This one is for a poem called In the Morning, and you can see the kind of Picasso type style. And here's the wire that I've incorporated. Actually, what I'm going to do is put more wire for the hair, but it's in the morning. I have my eye on the sky is one of the lines in the poem. And she's naked because she just got out of bed. And this is the one for a poem called She's Ghetto. She is ghetto. And here's kind of the ransom note lettering. I want to have like a tagline for each poem that I'm illustrating of what it means to me. And so this is not your average trash. Okay, so when I sketch a watercolor, I don't use a regular pencil. You can, but then you have all the hassle of rubbing it out. I like to use a watercolor pencil because I sketch it with that, and then the next step is I just go over loosely with a wet brush, and you never have anything to erase. Here's a little tip for you. Use 2 cups of water. One will be to clean your brush, and then the other will be to dip in and use on your paints, and you won't contaminate the colors together because your brush will always be clean when it goes into that second cup. And what you need to use for that is either some kitchen towel or a napkin, because once you've dipped your brush into the dirty cup, you're going to swat off some water and some excess paint, and then it'll be nice and clean to dip into your clean cup. And you'll see what I mean when I start doing it. The paints that I'm using today are called Kuretake. They're from Japan and they're extremely richly pigmented. Much more pigmented than my other watercolors, and I absolutely love them. Sometimes they're so dark they even look like acrylics. And here you can see this set actually has a great selection of colors, and in the lid, so you can see how difficult it is to see the colors, but what they give you is in the lid there's a grid which is blank and it matches the colors here, and then you just paint on your own little swatch. And you can see from this purple, for example, if you find it actually in the paint palette, it's that. It almost looks like black. So when you paint it on, you can see how light a purple it is, and it really helps when you're painting. So, yeah, one more thing I thought is a good tip is this egg carton is perfect. I use this as a little paint palette for my watercolor.
Where do I begin to tell the story of how great the love can be? The sweet love story that.
So that's the sketch part finished, and here I'll show it up. Sorry, it's a little bit sunny, but that's the Caribbean for you. And what I used for this was a light brown watercolor pencil. And the next bit I'm going to do now, which I will put on a fast forward, is apply water to my sketch. So it'll blend it in and I won't have to do any erasing.
The simple truth about the love she brings to me. When
I'm painting watercolor, I tend to just use two brushes, a large one and a small one. This is a 14 and a 6. So I don't want this caricature to identify with any race. So I'm going to be using a lot of grey because I want the image to portray an emotion. It's for a poem, as I said, called I Miss You. So I'm going to start by mixing some black and white to get grey. I need to put lots of water in my little egg carton palette here and stir that around. And now you'll see the advantage of 2 cups. So I'm going to clean my brush in the dirty cup and use some paper towel to swat off the excess water, and now I'm going to use the same paintbrush that was just in the black in the white, and look at this, absolutely no paint contamination. This is such a great tip, so I recommend you use this. And I'm going to mix that in with the black. I want the grey to be fairly light. I don't want her to look like a Halloween character. Okay, so I'm going to clean my brush again, dab off the excess water and paint now in the clean water, and I can then put it back in the white palette. And I'm going to squeeze that white off into what's becoming a lighter grey, and then I will begin painting. So enjoy.
Like a summer rain that cools the pavement with a patent leather shine, she came into my life and made the living fine, and gave a meaning to this empty world of mine. She fills my heart, she fills my heart with very special things, with angel songs, with wide imaginings. She fills my soul with so much love that anywhere I go, I'm never lonely. With her alone, who could be lonely? I reach for her hand, it it's always there. How long does it last? Can love be measured by the hours in a day? I have no answers, no, but this much I can say. I'm going to need her till the stars burn away, and she be there. She fills my heart with very special things, with angel songs, with wild imaginings. She fills my soul with so much love that anywhere I go, I'm never lonely with her alone. Who could be lonely? I reach for her hand. It's always there. Where do I begin to tell the story of how great a love can be? The sweet love story that is older than the sea. The simple truth about the love she brings to me. Where do I start? The toy that you got from an old cereal box takes pride of place on my window ledge. Them pop-cap guns and your father's Benson are gonna make a man out of you someday. And it's funny how it's all worked out. You've got a job and a family now, and I'm singing these same old songs in empty bars and cheap restaurants. And it feels like a matter of days that I could run the games we played, sitting on the rooftops after dark, drinking in the sky and eating the stars. I'm running home for tea of mash and gravy, shipping forecastings on the radio. Mama's in her straits saying she's only...
And there we have the finished watercolor caricature. Please check out all the links below this video, and I'll see you next time.